Luka and the Lakers suffered their first loss in weeks on Saturday. The road trip got a lot more daunting as he will have a number of new faces playing with him. LeBron suffered a groin injury and is out for what is assumed several games. We know he's out of this one for certain. How many more? That's the real question. Lakers are in Brooklyn for their second game of this 4-game trip. They'll tip off at 4:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. The Lakers won the first meeting back in L.A. in January. As we say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the one and only Hall of Famer, Big Game, James Worthy, the 7-time champ, Big Shot, Robert Horry. You guys got a great theme going on right now. The plaid.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, Rob just came back from Chapel Hill. That's like the college of design and fashion. So yeah, I like that. You know, it's all good. You had a good time down there, didn't you?
I had a great time. You know, I just wish I'd been hanging out with you so you could show me all the ins and outs instead.
We'll get back.
I had
there.
to hang out with my 95 champion partner, Pete Chilk.
Yeah.
Aww.
Pete was cool.
Yeah.
Good brother.
Nothing like Big Game, though.
We
There's a
lost.
Big
Like
Shot
big.
and then there's Big Game.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but we lost.
You know, Big Shot is 1 moment. Big Game is 48 minutes.
Forever.
Yes.
Remember I came in here and I was like, we were ahead 5 points. And I was like, oops, there's 14 minutes left to go. I was like, it looked good.
The good sign,
Put up a good fight, though.
none of us are on the injury report. As for the Lakers, it's not the same. We check out the injury report, which is extensive for the Lake Show. Luka, he is listed as questionable, dealing with that back soreness we saw throughout the game on Saturday. Dorian Finney-Smith is out, left ankle soreness. Rui Hachimura remains out, dealing with that knee injury. Jackson Hayes will miss his second straight, dealing with that right knee contusion. And of course, as we know, the left groin strain for LeBron James. So 1 to 2 weeks, reevaluated at that time, is the diagnosis with LBJ right now. Groin strain. Did not hear or feel a pop, as he said, and I think we all took that sigh of relief. Big Game, when we heard him say that on Saturday, feels like he escaped something, which is a good sign. But you also want them, actually, I'm going to ask you, would you like them to be cautious with him right now during this stretch?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Caution is the word for LeBron. And when he said it wasn't, a pop or anything of that nature, here's a guy that knows his body probably better than anybody in the league knows their body. So he's had this injury before. We talk about how great a shape he's in and how well he keeps his body. That's why he's been able to remain consistent and efficient. But he still has a lot of miles on that body. So this is one of those nagging, injuries that they need to take care of and make sure that it's not more severe. And as far as the other guys, look, they fought hard to get back to where they are right now. And so in today's game, load management is something that everyone's doing. You don't want to take a risk. They got a tough schedule coming up. Want to make sure everybody remains healthy when they're on the court.
Yeah, for me, when you watch that little stretch LeBron was doing there, he got low. He didn't look like he was grimacing. So that's a good sign, because I tore my groin in college, and I couldn't do that to save my life. And so that's one of the things that you got to understand. It's for LeBron James, he's not going to heal like he did when he was 30, 20, but he's 40. So he's not going to heal as fast. I know he's one of those freak athletes that heals really fast most time. But this one, it reminds me of that time was Christmas, right? A couple years ago. Is it the same injury, right? And so for me, like when you have a reoccurring injury, that means it's going to take even longer. So I'm saying, we see how good you playing.
Yeah.
Just take your time, come back when you come. And this gives everybody else a chance to, get used to playing with Luka. And so, because you can fit in anywhere you go. So that's going to be better for the team when you do come back.
We're certainly going to talk about that and just Luka's impact now without LeBron James. But I first want to ask you, when you look at that injury list, obviously you think of Jax as your primary big. You know that you're not going to even get a reevaluation on Rui until the end of this week, and who knows what that looks like, dealing with LeBron at this time. Have we just reached that point of the season? How much are you really leaning on that next man up mentality right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, even with LeBron and Luka, if you were missing those guys, that's a lot. Smith, Rui, guys that you really depend on. Hayes, who we call the lob master. Everybody's gotten used to throwing lobs to him, and he really knows how to roll and be in the right places. So they're missing a lot of energy, but that's just the nature of the game. They gotta put the brakes on because it's too close to, how many more games? 19 games?
20.
20 games left. So, you know, they fought extremely hard to get, you know, where they are, and you got to give them credit. So they got this last, you know, I don't even know if they have rest areas anymore on the highway and the freeway.
They still do, James. They still do.
But this is the last rest area before those last 20 games are up. So take a little nap, you know, freshen up a little bit, and get ready for the rest of the trip.
From getting on the freeway, approaching to another rest area.
Yeah, that's funny, Jay. But, you know, for me, it's like you look down the list, when you get injured like this, even though you hate it, but when you have a closer and a guy like Austin Reeves and Luka, they can withstand, you know, the gauntlet that's coming up, which is their tough schedule they have. And that's going to allow these guys to be rested, get guys like Gabe Vincent, and get guys like I'm really excited about, Connect, to have him an opportunity to get more minutes, to get into a rhythm. And for me, it's like a blessing in disguise where you got guys like Gabe, who's been playing really well, to continue to play well, Connect, who they really going to need because he's such a great spot-up shooter, to get a really good rhythm. But it allows guys like LeBron to rest. It got a lot of Rui to rest because when playoff times come, those guys are going to play significant minutes. And sometimes you don't want to see them hurt, but sometimes it's a blessing. So I'm looking at the positive side that they get rest.
You just got me really excited to see these guys play. Because Luka's on the floor, and you're right, Rob. You know, these other guys get a chance to step up. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond. Not so much tonight to Brooklyn, but to Milwaukee and Denver. It's going to be interesting to see.
Which they have each twice in back-to-back situations over the next 10 days. Do you consider this one, I'll come back to you on it, a must-win?
All games are must-wins. You know, hey, you got to think about it. No, because you look at the standings.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6. Snap your fingers.
Look at the schedule.
And they flop. You know, they flip-flop. And for me, these are all must-wins if you want to stay in that 2-3 range. And I prefer 2 because that means you got home court advantage for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And for me, that's so important, especially if you have to play guys like the Nuggets, you know, and the Warriors. So these teams are tough teams, veteran teams that can give you trouble. And that home crowd can give you that excitement and that extra push that you need. So I know Brez would say winnable. I'm saying must win all these games because you need the best record possible. And this also means that you're playing well if you win in these games. So,
oh, you definitely want the first round at home. If you can get the second round, perfect. But that first round, it propels you. So you get to play at home a little bit, then you get to play on the road. You get to see how it is. So, yeah, I want to win too, and I'm excited to see how we can, you know, play against Milwaukee, who playing okay with their 2 stars, and then Denver. You know, it's time to rise up. This team has proven that they can rise to occasion, missing key players.
Yeah. Lakers 21-10 versus teams below 500. You see it right there on the screen. As we get you live to Brooklyn, Lakers reporter Mike Trudell has more on the matchup versus the Nets.
Tiếp theo là mình cùng xuống dưới